But do you have a real job?
Okay, guys, welcome back to the podcast. But do you have a real job? Today is a very special day. I'm doing my very first in-person podcast with my homie, Chance Bones. Welcome to the podcast.
I feel honored to be the first.
Yep, the first.
First one in this wonderful new crib.
Hell yeah, man. I wish MTV would hit me up, but they haven't done that yet. Fucking pricks. I've been watching hella cribs, too. Like,
Really?
old ones from fucking Jackass people.
I was watching Pit My Ride
Oh my
on
God.
YouTube.
Exhibit.
It's your boy X to the Z Exhibit.
Oh my God. I can't with that shit. Yeah, man. I heard he likes toast, so we put a toaster in his steering wheel. It's like,
And
what?
not just a normal toaster. This glows in black light.
Yeah, man. It'll show all those nuts you busted all over that place. Fuck. Man, we haven't seen each other in a long time.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, I think the last
Couple
time
years probably.
we were
For the
making...
video shoot, I think.
Was that it?
I think.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Chance was in some videos. Well, actually, one video.
Just a video.
Falling. Yeah, Falling was dope, though. That was cool.
But
Except
that was a
cold
good
as fuck.
time. I had Freddie come do the video, and he's a genius at what he does, so.
Hell yeah. He's cool as fuck. That video was fun as fuck.
I got to vape in your face.
Oh, yeah, you did.
And then we were watching my favorite ghost hunting television show.
Oh, my God. That was the best ghost hunting channel of all
It's
time.
my favorite. Dude.
I'm not even going to give it the name. I don't even know if it's still up. It might be.
I wanted to stay like low key because I just don't want the rest of the world to find it because then I won't think it's cool no more.
Yeah. It's like one of those things. I go live on Instagram and people are like, "What's that old band you were in?" I'm like, "I'm not even gonna give you the name."
We're called Creed.
Yeah. I was in Alter Bridge for a while.
That would be.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be the dream?
Didn't you tour with them?
No, I played. I would do anything to tour with them if anybody from Alter Bridge or their camp is watching. But they're my favorite band of all time ever, and I played a festival with them in St. Louis. Do you hear cop sirens?
Yeah, man. Lots of crazy shit going on around here.
Close that window in case they're coming for.
There we go.
For you.
They might be actually deportation, man.
Oh no.
They're gonna come
You're half, aren't you?
Yeah.
Half Mexican.
They're gonna come take half of me out of here.
Does that mean you only need half of a green card?
I think so. Yeah. My daddy jumped the border. I think. I can't actually say that's a fact, but on my birth certificate it says that his name was. It doesn't say unavailable. It says like some weird shit where it's like you can't put it on here.
Oh no.
So I'm like, maybe he was a border jumper. He got his green card after the fact, I think. I don't know.
We should probably cut out everything to do with the green card.
Yeah, nah, probably not.
Okay.
Is it even a green card? What the fuck does it look like?
I haven't seen one in person.
I've never seen one either.
I have no knowledge of it at all. I just made a really tasteless joke.
I just wonder if it looks like a green card.
I would assume that there's.
But it also would be pretty stupid to have a green green card, or would it?
I just see that's a whole that's like a conversation for a whole nother podcast. You could probably do a whole episode on.
Well, either way, I don't need a green card because I was born in fucking USA.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell fucking yeah. I'm about to go riot too. US of A, bruh.
I've always had a complex with the people who were so anti immigrant because we preach that this is the greatest country in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So like other people see that, like why wouldn't they want to come here?
Oh yeah.
And plus also like let them get here and see what kind of shit show it is. They'll go. They won't want to stay.
Oh, no.
With the way it is now,
Yeah.
Australia is looking nice. Well, is Australia on fire still?
I don't know. Maybe.
If it's not, it's looking great.
Maybe. I wouldn't go there either. I think it's pretty crazy there too.
Anywhere where there's probably a beach.
Yeah, that's where I'm done with. But you can't go there now because COVID-19.
There's no COVID in paradise.
No. But
It's
man,
not a thing.
fucking immigrants, man. We let a lot of people too. A lot. Like more than any other country in the world.
I love everybody, man.
I can't remember what the numbers is. Well over 1 million a year come in. That's a lot.
I'm usually not the guy to talk politics with because I'm not smart enough to have an opinion on most political matters. So
Me neither.
I tend to just like talk about rock and roll, and like my political view is that do whatever you want, stay out of my way kind of thing.
Yeah. That's where Juggalos come into play.
Oh, okay.
Juggalos are the best.
See, I was waiting for that.
You go to Juggalo land or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
The
Gathering of the Juggalos, but like anywhere where Juggalos are, like nobody gives a fuck.
So I'm like you probably know this, but I'm a huge pro wrestling nerd. like fanatic. And
Are you huge enough to know who Danny Havoc is?
yes,
Oh,
definitely.
So you know he recently do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, he passed away.
Wait, Danny Havoc? Like
The extreme wrestler.
yeah, like he was on AEW or the
Was
new
he?
promotion that.
I don't remember what he was on, but he's like a extreme wrestler.
When did that happen?
Like last week, I think.
Man, because I'm usually like I'm like up to date on my most.
I don't even know who
wrestling
he is
news.
really. Yeah, but I just know one of my friends likes his shit, and I was like seeing it on Facebook. I was like, damn, but he did those fucking crazy matches with the light bulbs, big fucking balls.
Right.
Where like,
See, and I so I was able to be a ring announcer for Harley Race, who is considered like
Harley
an
Race.
absolute.
Sounds familiar.
He's a legend. He's in the Hall of Fame. 8-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
what the?
Which like when wrestling was the NWA, the championship title meant a whole lot more than what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
So to be an 8-time world champ like that, like that's a big deal. But my first gig ring announcing was with his company, World League Wrestling, and so they have a pretty
Yeah.
pause.
You gotta hit the vape.
Pause for the cause,
Yeah.
Babe Squad.
Keep it down.
You're right.
You're talking loud.
He has neighbors.
I have neighbors around. They're probably calling the cops right now. Calling the feds.
Honestly, if the cops show up, we'll just like, hey, you guys want to be on the show?
Yeah,
Like,
come on, man. We're trying to get some cops on
we'll
the
just
podcast.
like really put them over, and they'll forget why they came.
I've been trying to get a cop on my podcast just so I can just shit on them. Be like, yo, why are you a cop? You should quit.
How much nicotine's in this?
Like 3.
Dang, that's pretty strong for 3 milligrams.
It's 140 watt.
Oh,
it's
that's
burning
exactly
pretty hot.
why.
These
That's
coils
exactly
are crazy.
why. So anyway,
Anyways,
Harley Race.
ring announcer.
He was very much. It was a very much like old school environment.
Did you get paid?
A little bit, yeah.
What's a little bit? You got like a blowjob?
Anywhere from $50 to $100
Okay.
a night. I mean, I was 18 years old,
Hey,
still in high
that's cool.
school, and I've never done anything like to be involved with.
How the fuck did you even get involved?
So I had always done. Okay, well, actually, back even further. When I was in high school, as you would probably knowing me like you do, I was not necessarily an honor student in school.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually I got pretty close with the PE teacher. His name's Mike Phillips. Because we would talk wrestling, and he kind of saw through my like little punk kid ways,
Bullshit, right.
and actually like he took a liking to me. He would come to like my shows, like rock shows, or he would come watch me ring announce.
All right.
But I was messing around PE one day, and was acting like I was like a color commentator, like Jim
Right.
Ross or something. Like, my gosh, he hit him with that chair.
Right. His fucking back is broken in
Right.
half.
And so he was like, "Have you ever like thought about doing some kind of like, announcing work or something?" He's like,
Right.
I know you're just kind of screwing around being an idiot. And he goes, "I know you're just being an idiot."
Right.
But he goes, "You kind of are good at that."
Right. So I was like,
So I was like, "Hey, let me do like the player lineups for the basketball game,
mm-hmm.
just to try it, like just to introduce the players when they would come to the floor."
Right.
And so like that was the first time I really did it seriously,
Right.
and I fell in love with it. Like as weird as it is, like I fell in love with it. I fell in love with being able to like basically turn a crowd from 0 to 10,
Right.
like being that like, ladies and gentlemen,
It's like a DJ of a wedding or some shit. It's like you have the power.
oh, it's like well, probably more adrenaline than that. It's like
Yeah.
it's like that drop on a roller
Not a
coaster. or
DJ at a
something.
wedding. That's a pretty fucking retarded example. But
Yeah, man. When I think of living wild, I think of DJ in a wedding.
yeah, man,
So I
that sounds
get
like
it.
the worst fucking time of all time.
But yeah, I started doing the basketball game stuff, and I had kind of just like always thought in the back of my head, like, well, this is fun, but man, it would be so cool if I could like ring announce wrestling. Like, I love wrestling. I've loved
Duh.
wrestling my whole life.
You know how sick it would be to announce for wrestlers?
Right. And so like, I was just scrolling through Facebook one day, and one of Harley Race's promotion, World League Wrestling, which they were local to. They were in Eldon, Missouri at the time. They've since moved up to the St. Louis area.
Right.
But I was on, Facebook one day after school and saw that they were accepting submissions for a ring announcer.
All right. Perfect timing.
I would probably say it was like a God thing almost. It was like because like I'd almost like just started pursuing that, and within weeks I saw that ad, and so I went to there's just like a local recording studio in Dixon that I went in and I did like 3 wrestler like entrances, like introducing them with some kind of music behind it. Man, I keep burping because
you drinking Dr. Pepper?
I put some Dr. Pepper in this Purple Hearts mug that you can get at
teespring.com.
Teespring.com/stores.
Yep. /Purple Hearts.
/Purple Hearts.
You can. It's a dope mug.
But it's making me a little burpy.
Yeah. So you're ring announced for who? Harley Race.
So I had submitted the little demo that I did, and I remember I went and got a letter of recommendation from the local state representative, the basketball coach that got me basically into it.
Right. He's like, yo, dumbass, you should do this.
Yeah. I got like 2 letters of recommendation and like typed this big, well-worded, bio basically.
Yeah, this is why you should fucking pick me.
And thinking like, oh, there's probably going to be so many people going for this spot. There's no way. I sent it in like when I got to school. I emailed it to him, and I'd gotten a call before I had gotten out of school that day.
Damn.
And they were like, well, can you come up tonight? So, like, yes.
Right.
Of course.
Damn.
And so I drove up to Eldon, and I met with, his name is Leland Race. That's Harley's son. Right. He runs the promotion, and Harley's got a school, and Leland's the head trainer. Mm-hmm. So I met with him, talked with him. He introduced me to Harley, who he kind of got a kick that I was 18. Right. He thought that was kind of neat.
They all love the kids. Oh, this is cool.
And
the newbies.
One of the first things he said was, "So I'm tell you straight up, there's not a lot of money here." And I didn't care. Even still, like if I could do it again, I wouldn't care. Like it was, I felt it was so cool to be a part of the show, And I remember before my first match, it was in El Dorado Springs, Missouri. I remember just sitting in the back, just like, and thankfully, like the other guys in the locker room were cool, and they were like, "Hey, you're gonna kill it, man. You're gonna like," because I've heard stories of like,
I bet
wrestling locker rooms can be a brutal place, like a cruel place.
Yeah.
There's a story. Do you know who X-Pac is?
Oh, no.
There's a story of him taking a dump in somebody's bag, like.
I listen to a lot of Jim Cornette fucking stories.
Did you listen to Cordy?
Those motherfuckers are crazy.
I listen to Jim Cornette. I guarantee you every day.
Yeah, I listen to him quite a bit.
Every day.
And now, once you watch it on YouTube for like 1 second, your whole feed is that.
My girlfriend can attest that, like, I listen to a whole lot of Jim Cornette. So yeah, okay. If you've heard some of those stories,
yeah.
So it could have been, and I hadn't really found that part of wrestling yet when I started ring announcing. I was still pretty green. I was what they would call a mark, basically. Like I'd never been backstage. I'd never been, inside the barricade.
Yep.
Never sat ringside like that. Like never got to ring. I knew nothing.
So you rang the bell too?
Oh yeah. I had to have, in the state of Missouri, you have to have licenses for all of that.
To ring a bell.
Or to ring announce. To get in the ring or to be involved, you have to have a certain kind of license. So I had a ring announcer's license.
The fuck? What did you have to do to get that shit?
Pay the state money.
Classic. It's always about give me money, the government.
It is.
So you didn't have to like prove anything. You just had to give them money.
So when I worked for Harley, no, I ended up getting a job after that because I stopped ring announcing for Harley, around the time that I joined Blacklight District, playing drums. So I kind of had to step back, and I ended up getting involved with the National Wrestling Alliance. Mm-hmm. And when I renewed my stuff, part of what I had to go through some just like basic training. So I had to learn to run the ropes. I had to learn to take a bump. Right. I had to learn to take a bump sitting down. That was pretty much it.
That's pretty.
And it was just like,
pay me money.
I got to the show one day and they're like, "Come here, we're gonna teach you how to do this real quick."
All right.
And oh man,
Yeah,
that Dr. Pepper out of that purple
sometimes
heart, out of that Purple Hearts mug that you can get at teespring.com/stores/Purple Hearts.
Exactly. It's like the best.
It's making me burp.
Too. Yeah.
But I'm really I'm putting over that mug right now.
Hell yeah. Maybe somebody will buy one.
Well, they should at teespring.com/stores/Purple Hearts.
And they're all enjoying them. I see lots of pics every day.
If people have gotten this far into this podcast, like, they're true homies.
Yeah, that's
They're true homies. But, yeah, so I started working for the NWA, and I had to just learn the kind of basic stuff like that. And still, it was just pay the state money. And then I think it was more they wanted me to learn just the basic stuff, because
you might have to take a bump.
I have before.
Right.
And I love it. It's so fun. Like, that's my favorite, some of my favorite memories.
When you're not a wrestler,
involved.
You're like, I want to be a fucking wrestler.
Right. Well, I
took, how cool that would be? When
they brought me in the ring to, like, teach me to bump, I'd never fallen on the ring. Like, I'd walked in and stuff, but I never bumped. And so I'm thinking, man, there's people that just throw themselves at this mat. It can't be that bad.
Right.
So I did. I just gave it 110, man, and threw myself on the floor. And wake up call. That shit hurts.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, man.
Because I was watching the Steve Austin podcast, and he was saying something about, back in the day, they would always have a little bounce. But Vince and those people don't like the bounce. They like the sound of the pop.
The pop, which is
it makes it harder makes it way more firm. So if you hit, there's no, like, leeway. It's just, like, straight pop.
Right. Well, and this ring it was a pretty good ring that I was taking bumps in. So it wasn't, it was almost one of those where the harder you landed, the more bounce you had, so the less the fall hurt. And yeah, I learned really quick that I'm probably not cut to work matches.
Right.
I'm just not tough enough.
They're falling the whole fucking time.
I have a lot of buddies who work matches and they do it all the time, and that's a new level of tough.
Mm-hmm.
Because on top of, like, having to, like, withstand the pain, you have to stay in character.
Mm-hmm.
And, you're still putting on a show. And
jumping off a fucking ladder into a table.
I couldn't. I struggled to jump off the diving board, Mario.
Oh, my God. I almost drowned one time jumping off a diving board. It was so awkward. I was with my friends. I was like 10. And I was like, yeah, I'm cool. I can swim. They're all jumping off the diving board. And then I jump off the diving board. I'm, like, literally drowning. And I see the lifeguard underwater jump and fucking save my ass.
What if, like, the lifeguard would have just jumped, but
on top of me?
Yeah, just, like, kneed you in the eye,
knocked me out,
just finished you off.
Just blinded me in one eye. That'd have been really fucked up.
That really would have been.
Man,
probably would have been.
I chipped my tooth when I was 10 too, which was fucked up.
I
got it fixed, but I made my teeth crooked. I'm like, fuck. I have pervert teeth. I got in a bike wreck, face straight to the curb, like Superman straight to the curb, face straight to the fucking curb, mouth specifically. Broke my tooth. And it was all fucked up. And the guy I was with, they were all a bunch of dicks. They had bullied me. They're like, you fucked up my bike. I was like, bitch, my whole mouth is fucked up. The fuck?
I guess it would probably, honestly, like, it would depend on the bike and how much. Like, if it was a bicycle versus, like, a Harley or something.
No, it was just like a bicycle, yeah. We were just riding bikes.
Because, I mean, if I had a nice bike and you screwed it up, I'd be pissed, dude.
Well, yeah, if it was a Harley Davidson
like,
or something.
Who gives a shit about your mouth?
Where's
my bike?
Bicycle, yeah. I was pissed.
I mean, I'd still be your buddy, but
I was like, you motherfucker, I just wrecked my bike and fucked up my whole face. It was so embarrassing.
I like that I was worried about my language on this, and I don't think I've dropped the F-bomb once.
Yeah, I don't care. I just how I talk.
That's how I talk when there's not cameras rolling, and it's a terrible habit.
Yeah, I just kind of don't care.
But I'm gonna interview you now. So what have you been up to, Mario?
A bunch of shit.
Tell me about your brand new single. What is those lyrics about?
Pretty fucked up shit, actually. But it's gonna be dope. She got back from Amarillo, which was dope. So can't wait.
You recorded in Amarillo?
Yeah.
With
just one of my friends.
Oh, really?
It's like a random dude, that I know. He's cool as fuck. His name was Potion. Speaking of Potion, I wanted to show you something.
Oh yeah, you were talking about this earlier. You said you were gonna show me while
This is where we're at in music. Do you have any idea what this thing is?
Is that a download card?
Look, would you know what that is?
Like the symbol or
what does this thing do?
Is it a download card? Like, do you scan it on your phone or?
Dude, it's fucking nuts.
What is this?
So for the people that
It
can't
looks like
see
a hotel room key.
This is just like a looks
Here,
literally
show me
like
this
a
camera. Let me.
hotel. Yeah, show me that camera. It's way closer. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, I don't want to hold it.
So you just pop it open like right there. It's a fucking USB drive. You pop that shit in the computer.
Okay, I've seen the USBs. I've never seen them
Right.
with that kind of like presentation.
Right.
Who is that does this?
But this is my friend Potion's EP. He gave it to me yesterday. I was like, yo, you can download my EP on your computer with this thing. And it showed, he was like, yeah, with this thing. I was like, the fuck is this? I can't do anything with this. And then he pops it open. And, you know, it's a little flash drive. But this is where we're at. No more CDs. He's like, yo, here's a little, it looks like, this looks good, you know?
How much?
Good.
What does he sell that for?
I don't know what he sold it for. I think like $5. But you can get like 25 of them for $75 or something was what he said. $70.
Do you know who Nonpoint is?
No.
They're a really good hard rock band, kind of like the Seven Dust vibe. I saw them on like, it was a co-headliner with them and POD. Let me see that bad boy. No, the vape.
Oh yeah, I was like, I don't know what
Sorry,
I want to
Potion.
again. Yeah, he's like,
Make
fuck
vapes.
Potion.
But I saw Nonpoint on their co-headliner with POD, and they would sell.
POD still living off that one hit.
Yeah, I don't have much respect for POD.
I don't know anything about him other than
one of their members is like woman beater.
Oh no.
Truth, like straight up. And I won't go into it because I mean the band's still good.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a big fan of POD. But Nonpoint, they would sell flash drives that had the show that like from each night on it. So like after their set,
right,
somebody would just start
printing shit
loading flash drives, or it may not have been that like the show that you were at. It may have just been from the tour,
right,
or something. But you got like professional audio and video
right.
of their set,
which is crazy.
On the flash drive.
Right, that's dope.
I'd never seen that before, and they were going for like $25-$30.
Right, it's fucking crazy.
And you said you can get how many for $75? Like,
yeah, he got like 20 something of those for $70.
But man, if that's the way that things are going, I mean, people can bitch about, well, things aren't the way they used to be, and
it's like, yeah, they're not.
People say that, you know, it's a lot harder now to be a musician, and that's just such a crock of shit, dude.
It's so easy.
Anybody
with internet
completely. It's actually, there hasn't been a better time to be an artist of any kind, whether it's music, film, painting, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just about every single person that we would want to put our art in its respective form in front of,
mm-hmm.
you can now at the click of a button.
Literally.
I mean,
people always ask me, Mario, how do I become a musician? I'm like, just do it.
You just do it.
Literally.
That's been my answer for, like, the basic answer forever now is people say, I just don't know how you do it. Because real jobs are,
mm-hmm.
This podcast is called, but do you have a real job? And
right.
The answer is no.
Fuck
I can maybe keep a real job for like a couple months at the most.
But what is a real job? That's the real question.
True. Because, I mean, I'd like...
Like, what would you say as a real job?
The government took taxes out of what I did playing drums this year.
Right.
Or last year. So, I mean...
Is that a real job?
Playing drums is a taxable income for
right.
me. So is that considered a real job? Other than that, I pretty much worked at Subways my whole life.
Fuck Subway.
Dude.
Even though I love me a good pizza sub.
I listen straight up. Like, this is the first F-bomb I'm going to drop. Fuck your pizza sub. I
want a pizza sub.
I can make you a sandwich and any, like... I don't know if anybody that I've made sandwiches for would watch this podcast, but if they did, well, here's the thing. Don't be negative, because if they did, they're going to leave a comment and
mm-hmm.
be like, he's right.
Maybe.
He makes fire.
Maybe. I hope. That'd be dope. That'd be like the craziest thing to ever happen.
But yeah, I've never had like a real job, and so people have always, with not having a real job, I've sacrificed having money a lot. So
yeah.
People just say, like, how do you do it? You
all
know?
Right.
You just do, you know? Like,
yep. People don't love to do. You got to take a risk. The bigger the risk, the bigger the fucking reward. That's why all those rich motherfucking billionaires, they always get so rich because they take all the biggest risks and put in the biggest amount of money. So the return is so giant So like if you don't put in the money, like the hard work, if you work at Subway, like you were saying, if you just said fuck it, I'm gonna work at Subway for my whole life.
Right.
Of course, what do you expect? You're never gonna make more than 15 an hour.
Well, and I a lot of the times, one of the biggest problems that I had, and a lot of it stems from being a prideful person, but I would go out on these tours, and it was almost like I would just get the rock star treatment. And I just felt like I was on top of the world. And then after that run was over, it was going home and putting the uniform back on, and the stupid little hat and the stupid little name tag.
Oh yeah.
It was like it was almost, and like no disrespect to anybody that
does that.
Yeah, that that clocks in.
But they don't want to do that.
And there's no disrespect to anybody at all for any reason.
But they know.
It was almost felt degrading, because it was like I would get used to that feeling, and then I would just have to go back to like, can I take your order?
Right.
And I guess it was humbling for me. But I started getting to a point to where the money that I was making on the road started to carry over. And I started seeing bigger paychecks, and I started getting bigger shows and playing with bigger bands. And I kind of just reached the point to where like I mean, besides like since this COVID stuff has happened and my whole world is shut down, but I started not having enough time to, because even if I wasn't on the road, I was having to deal with something, because being a hire-on drummer and being as heavily involved with music as I am, I could very easily have 3 to 4 different projects that I'm working on at one time.
Why is that? Every drummer's got a fucking million projects.
Is that a drummer stereotype?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always drummers too, because there's always like a lack of drummers in areas, so people always gravitate to one guy, and that one guy is always like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it.
I don't think I'm.
But
I don't think I'm that guy.
It's not a bad thing.
Well, I know tons of talented drummers in both Missouri and then where I live up by Chicago now.
What the fuck is it like living in Chicago? Is it really Chirac, like I've heard?
There are parts of it that I love. There are parts of it that I hate. The obvious like best thing about living in Illinois is legal weed.
Of course.
I don't like the prices, but I like even more not going to jail for having a bag of weed.
Right. I don't think people go to jail that much for a bag of weed anymore. Which is surprising.
I've heard of it though, and like I've heard of it recently. Like, it just kind of depends on the situation.
Yeah, how much you've been arrested or not. Because I got busted like once with weed here in 2012, which if that tells you anything, that's a long time ago.
That was a hot minute ago. I don't even know if I smoked weed. I started smoking weed.
And they ticketed me. That was in Springfield. They ticketed me and just let me go. It was only a gram, but it was even only an infraction. It wasn't even a misdemeanor. It was like a traffic ticket.
I will say there was, and I won't say where I was because I don't want to get anyone in trouble.
You should.
But no, I won't. It's terrible.
I already know. I'm going to tell you.
I was on my way to see Alter Bridge actually. And in typical Chance fashion, I was running late. And so I'm driving like a bat out of hell. And I got lit up. And so the cop pulls me over, and he had recognized me from a show.
What the fuck?
That he was at the weekend prior, because I had just played in that town like the weekend prior.
What the fuck?
And he was like, "Didn't you just play at?" I can't say the venue because I'll give it away. But I was like, "Yes, I did." And like when that happened, I was like,
"All right,
I'm probably good."
All right.
So he was like, "Let me run your thing back." He goes, "I do gotta ask, is there anything in here that I should know about?"
Oh, of course.
And I figured usually, like when a cop asks you that question, they know the answer. Right. They're kind of just giving you the opportunity to tell the truth. So I was like, "Dude, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm on my way to see like my favorite band ever. I've got a bag of weed on me.
Yeah.
I've got a little pipe.
Yeah.
Like
I gotta smoke the weed."
I was like, "You can look through my whole car, and that's the only thing you'll find."
Yeah.
But I have it. He didn't even take it from me.
Yeah.
He let me keep it. Told me to slow it down because the next cop's probably not going to be as nice.
Yep.
And like that was I went on with my night.
Hell yeah.
But then I hear stories of like people getting stopped with an eighth and going to jail, and it's like, whew,
Yep.
it's a million wonders.
I've heard that. Yeah, in small towns.
Yeah,
Like,
and I come from, well, you come from a small town,
Yeah.
like
yeah, they'll arrest you
Dixon's.
straight up.
Where you?
Poplar Bluff.
Yeah. Well, Poplar Bluff's a little bigger than
Yeah,
Dixon.
it's bigger than Dixon, but
I
still
thought you
shitty.
lived in a smaller town than that, even.
No, I did actually live in a small town for like a couple months, but that was it. It was Piedmont. You probably never heard of that shit.
I swear I've played in Piedmont.
What the fuck? Yeah, it's a shitty whole town.
It's great.
It's like so tiny. There's nothing there.
There's some country folk there.
Oh yeah, there's some country folk there. They're the backwoods Missouri people.
Dude,
Like-
I love rednecks and hillbillies.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I mean, I've made my living playing country music.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
You're around a bunch of rednecks and hillbillies.
what's crazy is like a lot of Nashville and the people in Nashville aren't.
There's a lot of people in Nashville, all over the place, diverse as fuck.
But specifically the country scene, a lot of the people that are like it's composed of aren't redneck hillbillies. Like
Right. Well, country's almost going pop now,
I've
so
noticed.
they look like pop stars.
I've seen a lot of guys that were in rock bands back in the day that have jumped ship to
Country.
come play country. One of the top Nashville drummers right now used to play drums for, remember Pillar?
Were they a Christian band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So their drummer Lester Stell, he's my favorite drummer of all time. He is a session guy in Nashville. He tracked on the Johnny McGuire EP.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I tour with. That's his
Right.
touring drummer. And when I found out that Lester
What the fuck?
tracked his EP, I was like,
Right. What the fuck? That's crazy.
that was like even like my
He
dad and
went
I
from
were.
hard rock. It wasn't hard rock, but it was pretty hard
They were
rock.
pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like drop C, some
Right.
B sharp
But
or A
like-
sharp kind of tunings.
Going from that to country.
Well, he went from Pillar to, you remember Neil McCoy, like the old.
No.
He's like the '80s from the '80s and '90s.
No.
He did a little bit. He played a little bit at a Branson show even with Neil McCoy,
What the hell?
and then started playing for Big and Rich.
What the fuck?
Save a horse, ride
Oh my
cowboy.
god. That's crazy.
Started playing for them, and now he plays for Kelly Clarkson,
Damn.
doing
He went to the top.
yeah, and the guy deserves it. He's, as far as I'm concerned, the best that there is.
That's crazy
Like-
how it works. Like once you get into the industry and start getting in the nose, oh, this guy knows this guy knows that guy, they know me, I'm a drummer, I'm not doing anything right now, fuck it. Let's do it.
Right. Well, and I've figured out that most of the guys who are getting gigs, I mean, yes, the being good at like once you get to a professional level, being good's expected.
Right. You're just
Like,
like they
that's-
don't ask, are you good?
Yeah,
They're
it's
like, okay, you're good.
You either like, I mean, you're not where you are if you're not
Right.
good. So to find a good drummer, it's easy.
All right, you just
To find a good
ask a
guitar
couple
player,
people,
that's
yeah.
easy. It's about being a good hang. It's about being cool.
mm-hmm.
It's about being reliable. Being somebody that somebody can put their career or a part of their career in your hands, and they know you're not going to screw it up.
Mm-hmm.
They know that you're going to deliver every time.
Yep.
Uh,
That's why people like Brandon Urie have so much control of what they're doing. 'Cause
I
they
have
know,
a total dude crush on Brendan Urie.
They know, okay, this guy knows how to deliver, and he's gonna give us what we need. Let's
He really
fucking do it.
does.
Yeah, every time. He's like, I don't even know if he's peaking right now. I think he's still on the up and up. Like he's never.
I don't know if artists like that peak.
Right.
Like,
It's
has
just
Justin Timberlake peaked yet? Really?
Right.
No.
maybe,
I doubt it.
maybe not. But Brendan Urie, maybe. I don't know who's even bigger. I mean, Justin Timberlake has the movie cred and all that shit, and he's been around for a while. NSYNC, that's like the staple.
But that's
of
what I'm
pop
saying.
music.
He's managed to stay relevant for
Yeah,
so long.
he is
Like,
still relevant. I
he
still
will
watch.
be relevant for his whole
I
life.
still watch his shit all the time. All the new shit too.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he's putting out bangers.
I was telling Heather the other day that I haven't seen anybody do like a hardcore or a hard rock cover of Bye Bye Bye, like the NSYNC song.
Oh yeah. Oh, you've never seen that?
Did somebody do it?
Yeah, all the time.
Who did it?
I don't
Who's
know.
done it?
But I've seen it. I think it was on one of those Punk Goes Pop shit.
Probably. I would
Or whatever the
assume.
fuck that is, Pop Goes Metal or whatever the fuck they call that shit. So many names.
They've had so many of those.
All right.
Some of those have been real bust, and some
Dude,
of those have been so.
I hate
cool.
most of them, yeah. Some of them turn out really, really good. There's a couple of them I was like, damn, they killed it. But most, like 8 out of 10, I hate. I'm like, nah, this shit's whack.
I loved like Never Shout Never's cover of Bohemian Rhapsody.
I don't know if I
I
heard
think that was the one they did. It was awesome.
Man, I wish they would have done more shit with that. Eat Me While I'm Hot. That'd have been nuts.
If I keep having hiccups, I'm jumping out that window.
Oh, I hate the hiccups.
Man, I haven't had hiccups all day that we put a camera in my face and I'm just like...
You gotta hold your breath for like an hour. I just hold my breath for a while until I count backwards from the alphabet and then do it as long as I can.
Oh, yeah?
And then...
Is that what you do?
Yeah, eventually it'll go away. Sometimes it takes a while because they're really bad. But...
Those are the worst.
Mm-hmm. It's just crazy, though. Literally, the music industry is the hardest one to crack. But you can still make it. I mean, like we were talking about, all you gotta do is click a button. And now your fucking internet or your music is all over the world.
Right. I won't say that it's easy because I'm nowhere near where
of course.
I want to be.
I don't think anybody ever is, really.
And I don't necessarily claim to be a know-it-all because I'm just as much on my grind as anybody else is. But I've gotten incredibly lucky to have some really good gigs and meet some incredible people that have became friends of mine that I'll have, forever and ever. Casey Smith.
Super cool guy, too.
I met him when I was a little pipsqueak kid going to Here I Come Falling shows.
Right.
And now he's one of my best friends, one of my closest friends.
Yeah, he's a good friend, but it's weird.
One of the best human beings that I know.
Yeah.
I try to...
Like a different kind of person, though. He's not like a normal person.
No, he's an angel, actually.
Right. He's like a totally different kind of person. Yeah.
Angel. And like when he dies, he will just get wings and float back up to heaven because he's an angel. So angels don't like die; they just get to like skip the line, basically kind of thing. So that's what happens to Casey when he dies.
It's gonna be weird
because he's just such a great human being. I've heard him say one cuss word in the 10+ years that I've known him.
Damn.
And he apologized to me as soon as he said it. I won't tell the rest of the story because he'll kill me.
Hell yeah, tell the rest. Nah, you don't have to.
No, I have to see him like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well,
is he gonna be in the studio?
Oh yeah.
Oh cool.
Yeah.
What the hell is he doing?
I'm just gonna have him come put that little Casey Roar touch on. So I'm going in with Heather. She's gonna do it's her second single. She's gonna do it with Kevin Gates.
Right. Oh, the rapper.
Yeah,
Dude,
the rapper.
Fuck yeah.
We're gonna do a country song.
I got 2 phones.
Yeah, so I'm thinking we're gonna kind of take a country vibe and put that over it,
like Nelly or something.
Yeah, like 'cause it's all in my.
Hell yeah, I'm down with that, dude. That was a banger.
When I was out with No Resolve, I was on the No Resolve tour, and Heather went and saw Nelly, TLC, and then I think Flo Rida opened.
Oh man, I don't know about the Flo Rida or TLC that much.
She said Flo Rida was freaking party.
Like when you name yourself after a state, I can't take you seriously just off of that.
Like you can call me Illinois.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That's okay. That's lit.
I don't know.
There's some SoundCloud rap.
I guarantee it.
There's some SoundCloud rapper right now that just heard that.
100%.
Illinois.
I'm gonna do that.
Damn,
I almost bet there's somebody already named Illinois.
If not, then I just gave somebody a great idea, and I won't even charge them for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna charge. I'm about to fucking copyright that shit right now.
Well, then just split it with me then.
Yeah.
Just PayPal me.
Illinois, that's like the dumbest name. Band's got some dumbass names. Puddle of Mud, that's one of the dumbest band names I've ever heard.
I'm trying to think of the dumbest band name that I...
Stained is pretty bad. Corner with the K.
Skillet, and I love Skillet.
Skillet's pretty bad.
But like, that's a frying pan.
Right, like Skillet.
And they're one of the biggest.
Right.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Right. What kind of band name is that? That's like some dumbass shit. Disturbed. And that makes more
sense. That's kind of, and it fits the...
Yeah.
It definitely fits
that vibe, for sure.
I watched a video that this is a couple nights ago, and it was like the description of like Kyle's and Chad's, and it was talking about like extreme Chad energy and the bands that had extreme Chad energy.
I'm Disturbed.
Oh, they weren't on the list, and it disappointed me.
Damn.
It was Five Finger was number 1.
Oh, of course.
Avenged Sevenfold was on the list.
Oh, really? That's a really good band, though.
They are. I was surprised, especially over Disturbed. I was surprised.
Yeah, over them. Yeah.
Florida Georgia Line was on there.
Mm.
Definitely agree.
Yeah.
Who's another one? I can't think of him now, but
right.
it was hilarious.
Papa Roach. What kind of name is that? King Roach?
I don't know if they were. I think they might have been. Nickelback was on there.
Oh, classic.
Obviously, their lead singer's name is Chad.
It's so funny. Like,
And I like Nickelback.
People
dude.
hate Nickelback,
People
but
hate Nickelback and
it's,
they're good.
it's kind of like the heel of WWE. Like they love to hate him. It's just like we love
They're
your
the
shit,
heels of
but
rock
we
and
love to
roll.
also hate you. And Trapped is now taking that gauntlet of all the bands.
Yeah, he is, man.
Even though I'll say this, who the like Dance Gavin Dance? I remember they got in a big
Tillian Pearson got into it with
a
him.
big feud, and it's just like, all right, guys.
Power Trip got into it with him.
I know a lot. I was on this this little group, and they had all the bands that had beefed with Trap, and they made a Spotify playlist of all the bands.
Franz went after him.
Yeah, Franz was.
Franz
There was a
posted
bunch
his
of people.
Franz posted his phone number on Twitter.
No way.
Did you see that?
I didn't see that. Was that recent?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
damn.
still it's everywhere.
Yeah, because they've been all going at him recently.
Well,
Yeah.
he started mouthing Franz, and I've worked with Franz and with Attila, and I have nothing but love for those guys. Those are some of the greatest dudes in metal. But like, there's just some people that you can look at them and you can tell like that's not somebody I'm gonna jack with.
Hell no.
Franz is that guy, like, and he's one of the nicest dudes ever. He gets such a bad rap, but he's such a friendly guy. But like, that's probably one of the like bottom 3 names on my list of people to not piss off.
All right. Fucking Trapped though, that guy. But anyways, yeah, I don't give a fuck about the Dance Gavin Dance. Like, it's just funny to see all these bands talking shit. I'm like, yeah, you guys can talk shit all you want, but Headstrong was a number 1 banger.
Headstrong was a banger. My girlfriend's 11-year-old listens to, I don't even know where in Trap's career this record came out, but he listens to this one Trap record, and specifically this one song. And I've gotten to where like I know every word of it now because I hear it so much. That dude's got his views, man. He knows exactly what he thinks and what he believes.
But yeah, he does look a little stupid on Twitter.
Sure.
He barely even gets likes. I'm like, dog. But Headstrong was a banger.
Headstrong was a banger, and
I
still
don't
making
listen to
him money.
fucking Dance Gavin Dance.
Last time I listened to Dance Gavin Dance willingly was when Johnny was still in the band, and they released, I think it's called Downtown Battle Mountain.
Like,
it's the record that was white and gold.
Every single time somebody brings that band up, I think Johnny Gregg immediately.
Right, and but they still sell out clubs and stuff.
Yeah, no,
like,
they're
still
big,
kill it.
but I'm just like,
but that's the version of Dance Gavin Dance that I think of.
Well, who the fuck is Dance Gavin Dance?
I was with Casey at South by So What in Dallas, and they played, and I remember finding out that Johnny wasn't in the band, so I didn't watch him.
Yeah,
and I caught like a couple minutes of their set.
Johnny's he's a whack job,
but he's so talented.
Talented but wacky as fuck.
I
don't even like the way he sings. I'll be honest.
I love his voice.
I can't agree that he is a great singer, but I don't like it.
I think he belongs in pop.
I watch shows like The Voice, and I'm like, I hate all these people because they're obviously professionals.
Well, you know that if you want to make it in music, the way you do it is to try out for The Voice
yeah, definitely.
or American Idol.
Has he done that?
It's the only way you get big.
Did he do that?
Who?
Johnny Craig.
I doubt it.
Seems like something he would do.
As a work, maybe. But I don't think he has.
I mean, he could probably get on there.
I just got off the road with Scotty McCurry. He won.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what season.
Oh, you toured with the guy that won The Voice?
American Idol.
Oh, shit. That's even bigger. I think.
And it was back like, it's been a little bit ago that he won, back when it was like.
Kelly Clarkson won how many fucking years ago?
It was around then, though.
Right.
It was like the earlier seasons. Definitely not. I don't think it's been even within the last 5 years.
What the fuck's it like touring with that guy?
His crew was great.
I mean, like, pulling a bunch of numbers?
Oh, yeah. The shows were huge.
Damn.
We were playing, like, I don't know if the viewers will get this reference, but like the Gloys in Springfield.
Right.
There was like venues like that. Big theaters, or it was like a performing arts event center that we played one time.
That's fucking dope.
But the COVID took part of like the last date of that run. COVID took it out.
Oh, yeah.
I was pretty sad about that. But that run was a blast.
That's crazy.
We got there every day, and we had catering, and it was incredible.
Oh.
It wasn't just like...
Yeah, because it's the American Idol guy. It's not some random scene band.
No,
it's like a real professional.
Right. And,
Damn.
I mean, we had like we were eating good.
I bet.
Like, good.
Chicken?
Yeah.
All the good shit.
Yeah.
Some steak?
Like bruschetta. There was the burnt tips or something.
Oh, yeah.
There's those garlic mashed potatoes,
Damn.
like a huge soda cooler, fruit and snacks and cereal like all day.
The best thing I saw on that data tour tour was in the green room one time. They had a soda machine, like a fountain machine.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's dope as fuck.
Oh yeah,
I never got no catering like fucking full on meals.
I'd never had. That was the first time.
Damn. I bet that was a shock.
There was at South by So What, they had like catered barbecue.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like you could make like pulled pork and you got, the gimmicks with it. But
right.
As far as like,
that's a real ass meal though.
Like the food was designated for like
the
me
crew
and
shit.
because it was just us. It was Johnny McGuire,
right,
and then him. So it was just a 2 artists every night.
Right, and then a crew of like how many people?
They had a decent sized crew.
A bus full of people.
They still only had one bus, so that wasn't like a huge crew.
Okay.
But they did have like a semi truck.
Right.
Actually, fun story. Not a fun story, but a story.
It's fucked up.
The first night that we met up with, because he was in the middle of a run, and we just did. We were supposed to do 6 days, but we did 5.
Right.
So our first day we were in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and well, actually, the truck had left. Their semi truck had left Fort Wayne, Indiana, and this is a wrapped Scotty McCreery. He's got his picture on it.
Right.
Nice semi.
Looking like a badass.
Right. And they were talking like, we've only had this for a month, and it's, it's a nice piece of equipment here.
Mm-hmm.
So they leave Fort Wayne. We get to the venue the next day, which is Rockford, Illinois.
Okay.
And
not fun.
It wasn't bad.
Really?
We get to the venue the next day, and we like pull around the corner to where we're supposed to park, and we see the trailer, the semi, and there's a huge gash in this. I'm talking probably a foot long gash in the side of this. He was saying that he'd gotten on a back road, and they were going over a low water bridge, where it's still 2-lane though.
Yeah.
And they were passing the road trucks that disperse the like salt when it's icing or whatever. Yeah. Past one of those, and the side of his little bulldozer thing on the front just gashed the side of.
Damn.
Yeah. Brand new.
And that was with his face on it and shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you had to go through the whole tour with that?
Well, so we did 3 days, and then we had 4 days off, and then we were supposed to do another 2 days, or another 3 days. And so we just went back to Nashville after the third show was in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Mm-hmm. So we drove back to Nashville, and then they were playing the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville that week. So they just took the trailer back to, I guess, wherever they got it from.
Right.
And they were going to fix it. But it was going to take time. They couldn't use it for a couple months, so they just they just rented just a basic semi-trailer.
Oh, that's annoying because that like looks cool as fuck.
It was
when you're riding down the street and you have your face on the back of a semi truck.
Right. Oh. And it was a nice semi, but
then you pull up to truck stops, people are like, "Whoa, who was that?"
Right. Well, everybody knows because it says his name.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But and we had great crowds every night on that run. Johnny's still pretty new, so he's right when COVID started taking over. Was when he was going to start pushing his first single to radio. Oh, of course. So that just kind of slowed it all down, but nobody really knew who Johnny was. But they were really receptive to us, and it was stylistically we're a little more a little edgier, a little rougher than Scotty McCreery. So it was kind of like there were definitely probably some people who were watching our set thinking, who are these punk kids? But for the most part, they clapped after songs were over. They cheered. When I threw my drumstick out, somebody would try to grab it. So it was like they kind of cared maybe.
That's just kind of cool when like drummers throw that shit out. They're just like, oh, okay, I'm going to take that stick. That's cool. Oh, yeah, speaking of sticks, what you got over there? You got some new sticks. Oh. You're sponsored by some stick company now.
Perfect timing. I should probably vape before I bring this up. But yeah, I actually, this is a first for me.
It's always the first time for everything.
There's a Brad Paisley song called "Last Time for Everything,"
Oh no.
and it's really sad. So I'm not gonna talk about it anymore.
All right. I won't even listen to it.
Oh no, you definitely should. Just grab those off the table there.
Hell yeah. You stick those up your butt?
Not yet. I haven't.
Yeah.
Um,
Looks like it'd be a good angle. I don't know. I'd probably do the butt of it, not the front.
not
stick.
this part.
Yeah, no, I don't want that in my butt.
No, I guess it would depend on what you were into.
Yeah,
which
maybe
side.
that. Just the tip, you know.
Yeah.
But where the fuck do you get those things at?
So, every drummer has the dream of having their own signature stick.
But everybody has
Everybody
guitarists want their own signature guitar. And,
if you own an instrument, you've had the thought of, be cool if I had my own signature, whatever.
Yeah.
And
so those are your signature sticks.
yeah, these are my my signature Chance Bones 5B Excel drumsticks.
Very cool.
It's not available at Guitar Center yet or anything.
Is that your real signature?
Yes. Yeah.
Very nice.
There, we can hold it up to the camera.
There you go.
Maybe we can see it.
Yeah, move it a little bit to your left or your right. Right. Or your left, yeah. Up. There you go.
This part has to stay.
That's a cool stick.
So yeah, and
so what's cool about those sticks?
well, just as a whole, it's a fantastic stick.
Yeah.
It's a durable stick. I'm not one of those real picky guys when it comes to sticks. Like,
Yeah.
if I can grip it, I'll play.
Yeah.
I can play. But I prefer a 5B model. But a lot of times what I find with the 5B model, and the 5B is just a size, there's
Yeah.
a bunch of different sizes. There's a 7A, there's a 1A, there's 5Bs, there's tons of different sizes.
I want to play with what Travis Barker plays. I heard that makes you really good.
Those, I forget what size. I don't even remember.
I don't fucking know.
I had a pair of his signature sticks one time, but I don't remember what they were.
So, anyways.
But anyway, the problem with a lot of the 5Bs is they've got the good thick bottom down here, but then they kind of narrow out up here a lot, and I didn't want that. I wanted it to be like, I didn't care if there was a little bit of a decrease in the fatness of it, but I definitely didn't want much.
Right.
And so that's what this is. It's
pretty cool.
I guess I'm biased because it's got my name on it.
Yeah,
but,
sure. I mean, if my fucking name was on it, I'd be like, these are dope ass sticks.
These are, they're incredible sticks.
Hell yeah.
I'm incredibly lucky to have partnered with an awesome company like Excel.
Hell yeah.
Tori and Roxana took great care of me. They even sent me, I have to show you, I have to put this over because this is like probably my favorite part of all of this. So they made a keychain for me that's like got my signature on it and their logo. Like,
that's cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat.
Right.
I've never seen my name on a keychain.
Or a drumstick.
Or a drumstick. And the to know that those the people at Excel believed in me enough to put out a signature stick.
Right, it's sick as fuck.
It's I still have to like pinch myself because it's like I'll look at these and even still sitting here, that's like
you gotta frame those.
It's real.
Was that your first pair right there?
I ordered a brick. I ordered 2 bricks.
You gotta like frame 2.
I gave one to my mom already.
Yeah, you gotta frame.
I gotta give a pair to my mom. So
like, I want to frame like an album or some shit. She's like, damn, that's dope as fuck.
Right.
Even if it's not gold, I don't give a fuck. I just want a dope ass fucking plaque.
But
that's dope. Somebody else sent you sticks. They're like, yo, we want to do this for you.
And I've had stick deals before, where I just I got hooked up on sticks, but it was never like this.
We're
was
gonna
never like
make a signature stick.
We want to put out a signature stick.
Right.
For
Hell yeah.
So to finally reach that milestone is really special.
Right.
It's one of the things that I could say, like, if somebody were to ask me, how do you know you made it? One of the answers that I would have given at one point in time would have been to have my own signature series stick. So for that to be real is pretty special.
Yeah.
if you are interested in these, reach out to me. You can probably Instagram at IamChanceBones. I'll get you hooked up with these. If you want to check out other Excel products, follow them at Excel Drums or at Excel Drumsticks.
Hell yeah.
With an X, not like
Yeah. Dope. Fuck
so yeah, that's the newest thing in my world is my custom signature series
Hell yeah.
5B drumstick.
That's dope.
That I'm some redneck from Dixon, Missouri that basically I had a dream.
Yep. It's cool when people from Missouri make it because it's such a what the political people would call a flyover state. It's like middle of nowhere. Nobody gives a fuck about Missouri.
Well, seeing what's cool is Johnny, the guy that I play for.
Mm-hmm.
He's originally from Kansas City.
Yeah.
And then his guitar.
People come out of Kansas City quite a bit.
His guitar player, Colin Nash. So Colin Nash plays guitar for him. Mm-hmm. He's from Missouri.
Yeah.
And then, so right before we started the second half of that Scotty McCreery run, Johnny's bass player, Matt, got sicker than a dog. Was like deadly sick, deadly ill. Was like, I can't hardly get out of bed, boys.
Right.
So we brought Colin's bass player, Dalton Brown, who's the best bass player I know, brought him in. And so the last show, everybody on the stage was from Missouri originally.
Right, that's crazy.
So that was kind of special.
That's dope.
But to just be, I've been pretty much a redneck from Dixon, Missouri. I love wrestling and, like, I'm not good at anything else.
Right.
So to have that is special.
I bet.
And it means a lot. And
fuck yeah.
I've got 25 pairs of these of my own now. So I have to like them.
And now you can throw them out to the crowd and they'll have your signature on it, which is dope.
Yeah, I thought about putting my my Instagram handle on there, but I wasn't sure.
That's a little weird. I don't know.
I didn't know. Well, I just didn't know how it would look. Like I knew that I wanted my signature and my name printed, so I didn't know if having that extra would be too much.
Right.
But that's. I mean, if you.
I can't get a signature or anything. I mean, I can play guitar, but in my new shit, I'm not even playing guitar. It's like all beats. And I'm just going to sing and shit so I can go on solo tours, like DJ myself. Like, not DJ, I'm not going to bring in a full kit, even though that would be dope.
That would be, aesthetically, that would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be
even
like
if you don't really use it.
Right. Like, have a whole fucking DJ set up and shit.
Yep.
And just do dude, there's no way in hell people like the Chainsmokers, there's no way in fucking hell they're doing anything live. There's no way. I don't believe it.
I've never looked it up.
Like EDM shit. I've seen interviews where they're like, yeah, we're doing shit. I'm like, I don't believe it.
I would think as a drummer, it would be fun to have a gig like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love to play pop music. Like when I'm playing at home.
They found their drummer actually off YouTube. They have a drummer now for their live shows.
Who is it?
The Chainsmokers. Oh, his name is Matt McGuire.
He's playing for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's their full-time drummer now.
All right.
It's crazy.
I've seen a couple of those guys.
Yeah,
that guy's videos.
Yeah, he was doing covers of them, and they just was like, that'd be dope if we had a drummer.
Were you a Boys Like Girls fan?
Yeah, I can still listen to them and get emo as fuck.
Do you listen to The Night Game?
No, I've heard that one song you showed me, but
dude, I still that band. That's like my favorite.
I don't listen to them. No.
Oh, I love it so
Boys Like
much.
Girls though, I'll go back to their first 2 CDs all day.
They
especially that second one.
There's rumors that they're coming back.
That would be good.
I know Martin does a lot of work in Nashville. He writes a lot of country stuff.
Right.
But there's word on the street is BLG's coming back.
And it's weird how that works too. Like once you get involved with the industry and you can write a good song, even if you're not doing shit in a band, usually they're behind the scenes writing songs.
Chris Stapleton was that guy. And the thing is like I'm seeing a lot of guys from rock bands jump ship to the country game because, especially live, a country show anymore is a rock show.
Yeah.
I mean, it
definitely.
just is.
100%. They got a full rock band on stage.
Speaking of Pillar, Noah, their guitar player with the dreadlocks, he plays for Brantley Gilbert.
Okay.
He's Brantley Gilbert's guitar player.
That's crazy.
Do you remember the band Evans Blue?
Oh yeah, I remember that band.
Okay,
Had their fucking CD in high school.
I found there was a guy that was a hire-on drummer for them his name was Dusty Saxton,
Mm-hmm.
and I found him when he was with Evans Blue, and then he started playing for Granger Smith.
Okay.
That's who does the Yee Yee apparel,
Okay.
which you can also pick up your own Yee Yee apparel gear at yeeyeeapparel.com.
Hell yeah, you can.
They hooked me up. They hooked me up pretty good too. Those guys are good to me.
That's dope.
But Dusty was playing for Evans Blue,
Mm-hmm.
and then started playing for Granger Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Granger's show is the heaviest non-metal show I've ever seen, and like that's
Damn.
including a lot of rock bands.
Right.
And that, like,
That's crazy.
they get down.
Right.
It's awesome.
Yeah, dude. I wish I had that kind of money to fucking just blow on shows, because they're not blowing it; they're making it back. But
Oh yeah,
it's like they can actually spend that money to make it good.
and that's
The lights, I bet, are fucking nuts.
so Dusty runs their light show
Mm-hmm.
with a pad.
Yeah.
Like he hits a pad and it
It does what it does.
does it. They have these big video
They like
walls.
set it up and shit beforehand, and
And it he runs like, their tracks, but their tracks are like not the normal backtrack where if you get lost you're screwed. Like he
Right.
can stop the track, restart, and like jump in somewhere.
right.
He just has total control over their whole show. And he was showing me his rig, and it was a foreign language. Like,
Yeah.
the amount of work that they put into it,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's insane.
Yeah. Because then you're like, good. You're like, yo, we got to put this work in.
And they do. They kill it I challenge anybody, even if you're not a country music fan,
Mm-hmm.
if they happen to be coming through your town once the virus goes away, go.
Yeah.
Like, just go, because you'll have a great time.
Well, yeah, it's not just a guy just playing his acoustic guitar. That's
No.
not acoustic. That's not a country show. Yeah. I've seen
No.
some country shows. They're banging.
They've got like double bass breakdowns, strobe lights.
Damn.
I mean, chugs, like all kinds of, and then they'll turn around and play pretty like mandolin acoustic.
Right.
And
Country music is literally emo music for rednecks.
yes,
I mean, like literally.
it
Because
is.
all it talks about is girls and beers and driving on the back roads and missing my shit and, shit that emo people talk about.
I used to completely be like anti-country, and then for a while I was kind of one of those, well, this stuff on the radio, it ain't real country. This is,
Mm-hmm.
that's wussy music. And then I started spending a little bit of time in Nashville, and I started meeting people in just in the Nashville scene,
Yep.
and I found myself having an attraction to the modern country music in a lot of the same ways that I had an attraction to professional wrestling,
Right.
because I'm a big psychology guy.
Mm-hmm.
I love the psychology aspect of pro wrestling,
Yeah.
and with a lot of this modern country music, it's the same kind of principle, or it's the same idea, because I was saying a lot of the guys in Nashville that are getting all the work, they're not necessarily the redneck country boys.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're writing these songs, it's almost like you're playing a part, and you're writing with the idea of inflicting or
Mhm.
causing this emotion, sparking this emotion in somebody,
Right.
whatever that is, whether it's making somebody want to go drink, or
Mhm.
it's making somebody want to drunk text their ex, or
I got those songs.
right. And so once I saw it from that perspective, I fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
Not even necessarily listening to it, because it's not something that I have. There's a couple artists that I like. I like Luke Combs
Mhm.
a lot. I think Luke Combs is the man. I like Granger. Granger's music's good. I'm probably biased,
Yeah, probably.
but that's okay. Johnny's music, the guy I play for, I enjoy his music. His take on country music is it's admirable, because he does have that modern sound,
Mm-hmm.
but then you hear Johnny's his voice, and he doesn't sound like one of those overproduced modern country guys singing about shit that every other artist is singing about.
Right.
And he, Johnny's all-time favorite artist is Tom Petty.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Tom Petty.
Yeah.
I am a huge Tom Petty guy. And he incorporates a lot of that into the music and into his image. And I enjoy his music. I'm trying to think if there's very many. My girlfriend listens to just about every single female country artist. You know, because she's a female country artist herself.
Right.
So, I guess if she's my girlfriend, she would be a female country artist. That's like the girlfriend that's female. Right. It's a girl.
Yeah. Some girls don't like that. They're like, yo, I want equality. I want everybody just to be.
Heather's all about the girl power, man.
Yeah, I think it's a good selling point.
If
you sell female fronted, like it immediately like sparks something in their head. They're like, okay, I'm gonna check that out.
Tell her all the time, like she's got a platform that not a lot of people can have.
If you're a guy, you can't have that platform.
But she keeps me pretty up to date with what's going on in the female country stuff. You can follow her at Heather Wagner Music.
Do it.
But she's pretty much into all of that stuff. But her take on country music is, she doesn't want the overproduced, poppy, like girly, dainty. Like she's almost got a bad bitch vibe.
Yeah.
And it's been fun.
What's that one song? Something. Pull is a key to his 4-wheel drive. What the fuck? I can't even.
That's a Carrie Underwood song.
Is it Carrie Underwood?
She's reading
song?
Carrie Underwood's
book
right now.
I thought it was a Carrie Underwood song.
That's one of her like top 3 favorites of all time.
Yep. But
she kind of tries to embrace that side of like girl power.
Mm-hmm.
It works for her because she's got a sleeve.
Yep.
And she kind of like, if you know her, you know better, but she looks like she would just beat your ass.
Right.
But she's the single sweetest human being on the earth. And it's been a blast to play for her and to work for her and to watch her grow as an artist. Because when I started, like when my friend Nick Huffman, who owns the Looney Bin, he introduced us. And when he introduced us, she hadn't had any experience in pursuing music.
Right.
Like she had never even played with a live band. So, and that was almost 2 years ago now. So to see her grow as an artist and, I see her get excited about things that I remember getting excited about when I was starting out. And so for like, to see those reactions and it be with like somebody that I'm just crazy in love with, like it's really cool. It's also, at least in the sense of working with your significant other, it can be one of the single hardest things in the world. We tend to do okay most of the time. If there's problems caused, it's my fault because I tend to just not sugarcoat anything. And if I think something sucks, like I'll just say it.
Right.
And so like that'll hurt, I'll be trying to be her business partner and I'll say that something sucks and it ends up hurting my girlfriend's feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like to keep those things separate.
That's
a weird thing. Yeah,
it's new to me, and it's definitely not something that everybody should go to try to do.
No.
I think in order for something like that to work, the actual relationship itself, it has to be strong. You have to have a good foundation there, and we do. She's my best friend in the whole world. Like, that's my hangout buddy. Like that's who if I could choose to hang out with somebody, it's her. And
right.
So there's that part of it, and then the guys that are in her band that play for her are guys that I've played. They're my best friends that I've played with forever. It's the bass player and guitar player from my old band Trust Fall.
Damn. That
play for her.
You got lucky there.
Yeah, I did.
Because if you already play with somebody, it's
right. And Luke and I have been. This will be the I think this is the 5th project that Luke and I have been in together.
Damn.
So Luke and I have done thousands of miles down the road together. If there's ever a day that Heather decides she wants to marry my stupid ass, Luke will end up Luke would be my best man. That's how tight we are. And speaking of trust fall, we're working on some stuff.
There you go.
I get messages all the time of people asking when or if we're ever going to come back. And the answer to that is yes. But I don't know when yet.
Right.
I'm not sure if right now's an appropriate time.
I think it is.
I did at first until the George Floyd stuff started to happen, and I almost felt like it wasn't an appropriate. It's not the appropriate time to
maybe
to try to put the limelight or the attention or focus on myself.
Maybe,
I guess, and in some sense,
yeah.
not that I think that I'm big enough or famous enough to where I'm gonna make very many waves at all, but it's the principle. And I'm a huge believer that timing is everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe in the music that we're sitting on enough to where whether it's this year, next year, or 5 years from now, the songs that we're sitting on I think will still hold up.
Hell yeah.
That's a huge reason as to why we've held off on releasing stuff for so long. We've had troubles and issues with various little inner things within the band that every other band has problems with or has struggled with. But Trustfall, as the three of us, being me, Luke Coulter, and his younger brother Pete, the three of us are all in a place in our lives now to where we definitely realize that it's time.
Right.
And then we have, our bass player Sean, who, when we started the band, we had no idea who he was. We didn't know him. We didn't have a bass player when we released our first song.
Right.
And we met him, and he showed such a dedication to that project that I still admire it, and I still say that he was more dedicated to it than the three of us were, and we were the ones that started it.
Damn.
And so to know that after all of this time of us just kind of being dormant and figuring out our lives, to know that he's still there and ready to go with us, when the question of who's going to play bass came up again, Sean was, that was the guy. And Sean's a great bass player. He plays for Heather, and he kills it. He's a goofy guy. All bass players are goofy.
Yeah, most musicians are goofy, but I feel bad for the girls that got to date musicians if you're a guy musician. But we should probably wrap this up. We've been rocking for over an hour.
Really?
Hour and 15.
Well, that's
good times.
Good talks though.
Hell yeah! So everybody, thank you so much for watching. Where do we find Chance at on the internet? I am Chance Bones.
Twitter and Instagram at I am Chance Bones.
There you go.
Or if you want to add me on Facebook, my last name is actually Jones.
Oh, okay.
Crazy enough, my last name's not really Bones.
That's weird. I figured it was.
But thank you for having me.
Hell yeah, man. Sounds like you have a lot going on though. So fuck yeah. It's cool when you can have shit going on and make money from it.
I'm grateful for it. Grateful for it all. And if anybody's watching this that does support me, thank you a lot.
Hell yeah. And thank you for watching this far if you even fucking made it. If anybody made it this far, I'd give you $1 million. No, I'm joking. Yeah, that's it.
He's lying.
Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Stick around for the next podcast. Who the fuck knows when that'll be. First podcast with Chance was awesome. And it was a person, so that was cool. First podcast in person.
I'm here. You were there.
Hell yeah. So hopefully it looks cool.
It's like 2:30 in the morning probably.
Almost 4. So
dang.
Yeah, it's a 3:30 in the morning podcast.
I got to be in the studio at 9:30.
That's a bitch. So anyways, thanks everybody for listening. If you're home or watching, have a good night. Peace.
But do you have a real job?